Hey guys, Tactics here, or YouTube Tactics. Um, Tonight I had a fantastic night with a 12-1 score in a grand challenge. Typically I stick to classic challenges, and typically I 12 win them. I've had a lot of success with this deck, so much that I felt arrogant enough that I'm as good a player as there is out there with this deck, and I might as well take it to the next level, which is the Grand Challenge. So tonight, here's kind of a recap. Some of the replays are already gone. Let's see here. Oh, dang. One of my favorite ones is gone. So let me go in my history real quick. That was dueling a clanmate. Oh, let's see here. I think this would have been game one. Okay. Okay, here. Here's game two. He's currently the 1,468th best player in the game as far as trophies are concerned. I was able to beat him game two. I think it's him, right? Yeah. So that's the first game I want to show. Just because when I see a lot of YouTubers, when they show their 12-win challenges, I look at their games. Not always, but typically, I look at their games and I'm like, I think you got a really lucky draw because I don't really see a whole lot of skill from the opponent. So, um, I just wanted to show that, I kind of took down some pretty good players in this challenge. So here would be the first game. So I'm running. It's kind of becoming a meta, but um, I it was on a YouTube video. I honestly I don't want to give the wrong person credit, but I did. I actually didn't steal this deck from a YouTube video. I actually was playing in a grand challenge, and this 5600 current rated player just destroyed me with it. And it was the first time I'd really seen Battle Ram. And I was thinking, okay, so this player's good. He's using this deck. It destroyed me. I'm going to check this deck out. And my goodness, is it as good as I thought it was? After playing it a while, I checked YouTube for it. And sure enough, it was, it became popular from a YouTuber. Again, I don't remember which one, so I apologize that I'm not giving you credit. I know, I think it was Ash, but I know it was Colton's deck, and I think Colton was a guest on Ash's. I'm not 100% sure, but I've watched Colton his own video play it, and then I kind of watched his tutorial with Ash, and it did give me some extra tips. Basically, I learned that minor poison was a thing. Believe it or not, I didn't realize that covering your minor in certain situations with the poison is common as it is. So I've always been the kind of player who always is looking for the littlest elixir edges in the world, and I tried to avoid big elixir pushes because I knew on the opposite end I would not be able to defend as well because I'd be short on elixir. But this is the kind of deck that it's I'm gonna call it cycly, even though that isn't a word. It's cycly enough to be able to get away with the fact that you're using big elixir pushes. Typically not my game before this deck. I'm kind of a giant bowler, mega minion, musketeer, poison type of player. Like I'm more of a beatdown type of player. So probably the two biggest tips I gained from watching the other YouTubers were, yeah, I just beat the timer on this. So, I'm bragging that I beat a 1400 player, but as you saw, it wasn't by a wide margin by any means. But back to my tips, the two tips that I gained from those other videos. Minor Poison is extremely good together, which I'm sure a lot of you are rolling your eyes saying, oh my gosh, if this guy didn't know that, what could he possibly teach me? Yeah, this was my one loss. My one loss in a grand challenge where I went 12-1 was to a 2790 player. So really weird how that works. It was kind of a heartbreaker. I definitely had a chance to win, but I didn't. So hats off to him. So this is my big game. This is probably I didn't always pay attention to their ranks, so I think it's my most prestigious win ever. But I saw this guy when I first played him. I was seeing no clan, and there's one spot open in my clan. I'm the leader of it, so my first thought was, because we're a 3200 or better clan at this point, which I know a lot of top end clans they won't accept people under 4,000 and maybe even beyond that, but we're looking for 3,200 plus players right now. And I was like, hey, it's a grand challenge. It's game 5. He's probably 3,200 or better. So I'm going to be extra polite to him, and hopefully I can win him over and invite him to the clan, and we'll fill up. Well, I noticed something was up when a lot of viewers were live watching the match, because I don't get a lot of live viewers. I might get one when I'm really popular, really trying to advertise myself in my clan. Sometimes I get 2 people to watch. I may have gotten 3 before, but I mean, even 2's a lot for me. 1 is more than normal. So when, 3, 4, even 5 people started watching this, I was like, okay, this guy's pretty good, because these people aren't here to watch me. So after the game, I realized, look at that. He's the 114th top player in the world. I apologize about my hair, guys. It's a late night. Got excited about, my progress, and I figured, hey, my first video, you're going to see the real me. So, yeah, it's a late night. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I just decided I wanted to make a video. So, here's me, my 5th game. I'm 4-1 going into this game. I'm going up against the 114th best player in the game. So you saw how close my last game was. You could probably imagine this one will also be close, right? Well, spoiler alert, this game wasn't even close. So very proud of this one. He's obviously a top end player in the entire game, and I was able to beat him pretty handily. And not saying he's a bad player by any means. The reason I'm so proud of the win is because of how great of a player he is. So, I mean, no disrespect at all. And maybe if we played, 9 more times, he might win the next 9. And congrats to him for that. But I got him this time, so I'm going to be proud about it this time, because players like me don't get the chance to beat players like him very often, so I'm going to enjoy it. So enough of me rambling, I suppose. Let's kind of go through strategies. So immediately, obviously I recognize this deck, not to a T, because normally this deck doesn't use arrows. Normally it uses fireball, sometimes poison. It looks like he's running a fireball and arrows, but this is that quick hog cycle deck that's very popular, and it might even just be a couple weeks ago. This deck used to rage me, and I played it myself, and because I played it myself, kind of learned its strengths and weaknesses. And obviously its strength is that if you try to send in one solid push, it can just chip away for elixir leads. So you really want to be strategic in your pushes. You don't want to try to overwhelm this deck. You feel like you should because you're like, geez, he's just defending me with a cannon, some skeletons, and an ice golem and a musketeer all the time. The reality is he will defend with those cards. You're not going to overpower him. As weak of a as small of elixir as those cards are, you feel like you should be able to overpower him. You're just not going to overpower him, and it can really mentally wear you down as a player. Um, Realizing that you're just not making progress on this guy, and you should be because um, you have more powerful troops going in than the ones he's defending with. But the reality is he can defend all day long, and if you're basically why I'm winning is I'm pushing both lanes, and even though he can chip, he only has so many chip cards. So if you kind of split them up, that's where I gain the edge here. Is I once I got him to commit in one lane from kind of a half hard push, I half hard push the other side. As you see, like I think that Bandit's a very good push card. You got to pay attention to her. On the other side, I minor poisoned and threw in the ram. So that was enough to get it done. For a very easy win. I mean, I could tell he was good. He was running a good deck, but I was surprised when I saw just how good he was. So here's a 3-0 against another good player. Apologize about all the camera movement, guys. This is my first video like this. I'm not professionally set up like those other guys as much as I would like to be, and it's a goal of mine to be. I actually decided earlier in this day that I kind of believe I'm a pretty good player, and I think people would learn something from watching me play and listening to my tips. So normally I don't do grand challenges because I'm not exactly free to play, but the only money I've really put in this game is when they put those really good bundle chests together. It was kind of the first ones they ever did, actually. There was just so much value in them that I thought, hey, for $10 with all that value, I gotta go for it. So I really have been trying to conserve my gems. I typically only do classic challenges, but I get 12 wins in those things like all the time. Like I'd say I get 12 wins when I play those more often than I don't get 12 wins. So that's why I did the grand challenge tonight. Paid off for me. Gotta love that. Okay, so here's another top 2,000 player. He's 1589, so I will show you that one. I think it's this guy. Let's see. All right, so we'll do something different. I won't just ramble at you. I'm going to kind of walk you through my strategy here. The reason I haven't been doing that as much is because strategy videos have already been done on YouTube, but hey, I want to be a one-stop shop for you here anyway. So I just minored in the back. That's something I like to do early when given the opportunity, when I don't have a real push, because I want to basically what I'm doing is I want to find out how you're going to defend my minor, because my attack is really going to be based off of that for most of the game. So early I just want to find out, hey, how are you going to defend that thing? So then he defended it with 3 elixir goblin army. They were going to have to run through my poison, and my poison was going to hit the tower I was chipping at, and my poison was going to hit the furnace. So I found value in that. Now, typically, so I think it is well known that is can be used as a defense card. You really don't want to use the ram as a defense card. I unfortunately didn't have a better option, and I was required to use it. So I'm not recommending using the ram as a defense card. I rarely do. But his deck was going to overpower me if I didn't. So I did do that there. As you see, I don't want to use the poison on that side because I already had done more damage to the right tower. Unfortunately, he's a good player and he's forcing my hand a little bit. He's forcing me to counter push from the left side. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be dedicated to the left side now. I don't force my ally. Basically, if he structures leaning towards the left side, I need to push on the right side. I need to be very flexible with my attack. So here again, very value poison. I'm chipping away at the left tower. I killed the goblin gang. I'm going to do a little damage to that musketeer. This was a bummer because on the right side, that musketeer wasn't getting hit by the Inferno Tower. And now I have to distract those minions long enough that they don't destroy me, pretty much. Again, don't want to use the miner as defense. I felt forced to. And then I kind of had to use that card defensively too, the ram, but because it was such a long push, I felt really confident that he would put, a small unit in front, so I was able to prediction log, and I got a good value poison out of that too, so chipping both sides has worked out well for me. Now I can kind of go either side. I might win on the right side at this point. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't remember which side I win this on. Again, I'm not forcing it. I'm taking what he's giving me. Right now, I'm just trying to not lose. I'm trying to defend the best I can. So I'm not even thinking about my attacking win right now. I'm trying to defend. He has me completely on my heels. So I'm going to take the counter attack that he gives me. When he opens up in a counter attack, I am going for it. That's all I'm thinking right now. Survive, survive, survive. Obviously, I want to be using my poison on the right side because I'm only a couple poison miners away from winning this thing. But again, he's forced my hand. I need to counter those minions. So now I'm just a poison away from winning this thing. And now I'm just a log away from winning this thing. So I am getting in front of that left side, making sure he can't get a quick win out of me. And I just poison the rest of it. So yeah, I got both towers low didn't force one lane. If I would have forced one lane the whole game, he would have destroyed me. The Knight is a fantastic defense card against my deck. It does a great job against the Battle Ram. And really, it's a true counter to my Bandit, and it does a great job versus my Electro Wizard as well. So the Knight is a huge bummer. The Furnace is a huge bummer for me. So if I would have just said, hey, my cards versus your cards, he would have won. No question about it. So what I had to do is just continue taking whatever he'll give me and hope that I can just get one solid push. And I was able to pull that off. So we'll keep looking for a high-rated opponent. He's obviously high-rated. He's more high-rated than me. I don't know how long I want this video to be. Oh, this is my game 12. So I'm going to show this to you. It's actually, like I said, he's a higher-rated player than me. He's actually a very good player, and he gave me a really good game. I was 11-1 going into this game, and that's fortunate for me, obviously, because I can lose this game and still have another chance at that 12 win, obviously, right? But he really almost beats me. In fact, I gave him a good game at the end, truly not being cocky like I knew I was going to win, but I actually thought for sure that I had lost. So that P.E.K.K.A. Clearly a huge counter to my deck, and he off the opener is off to a great lead. Health wise, you'll see in the end, since he let my bandit do that couple ticks of damage, which was huge for me. I actually have the lead in the opener, but if he would have stopped that bandit, he was definitely in a position to have the lead off the opener. I was very fortunate to get that health, and you'll see every little bit of health truly mattered in this game. So Battle Ram, I used a prediction log just because I hadn't seen Skelly Army yet, Goblin Army yet, so I figured, hey, it's probably waiting for my next push. The reality is he was not playing either of those cards. Tried to get my bandit in front of the battle ram with a charge. I thought she would do enough damage that the battle ram would not be able to connect on my tower. It did. So that was a bummer. Bad miner placement by me. It let the other tower hit it. I don't recommend that. Probably cost me 1 chip, which every little bit mattered in this game. Sorry to get my face so close there. I'm really paying attention to the game. Let's see here. So I throw my battle ram up just because I thought in my head, okay, when I used my prediction log, he didn't have that Skelly Army or Goblin Gang. He's using minions. So I thought, well, I'm going to poison those minions and get a big push. Unfortunately, the poison was no good because the P.E.K.K.A just straight countered me. And he gets a huge push here, which I thought was going to beat me. With 20 seconds left, I have 19 health. He has 800 health. I thought there's no way I'm winning this thing. So that time my poison did work. It got those minions I was looking for. So I'm doing a little push here. That log was not really strategic. I'm just, hey, there's 4 seconds left. I need to get his tower down before mine, and I'm going to take every bit of damage I can. Bad tornado by him. I got extremely lucky to win that game on so many levels. I was lucky to stop his P.E.K.K.A push there at the end. I was lucky his tornado didn't, move my miner out of the way and move my bandit out of the way. But as it stands, my tower had 19 health left in it, and I was able to get the 12th win. So that's fantastic. In my chest, I apologize I didn't save the chest for the open. I did think about it, but I was too excited, and I wanted to open the chest myself because I haven't done a grand challenge in a long time. So I selfishly opened that one myself. I'll make sure if I'm in this situation again that I'll wait for you guys. Okay. What I got is an Electro Wizard. I got some bowlers. I think 6 bowlers. I got 2 P.E.K.K.As. And then I think I got some elite barbs, like 100 and some. But from the cards I used, that was pretty much the extent of it. The 22,000 gold alone is a reason to want to win that tournament. My Electro Wizard is already level 3. I was actually able to get it level 3 from the Electro Wizard challenge. When that challenge went on, I just played and played and played and played. And I won it enough times because at the time of that challenge, every time you won that challenge, you got an Electro Wizard. So I won it enough times to become level 3 on this account, and I have a second account. It's called YouTube Tactics, which I hope to be the account that I'm typically doing my YouTube channel with. For obvious reasons, I named it YouTube Tactics. That was my intention for that account. I also did the Electro Wizard challenge on that account once I got level 3 on this account. And I was able to get it level 2 with like an extra 1 or 2. Towards it being level 3. So I don't know why I'm telling that, but yeah, I won the Bandit challenge. I guess I'm telling you this because this is probably your first experience with me. I want to let you know I am a very skilled player. I win challenges, I win grand challenges, I win classic challenges all day long. I'm not trying to be braggy. I just would like this YouTube thing to become a real thing for me. I want you to know that I'm skilled. I have good information to share. I'm not just a one deck player. I can win classic challenges almost all the time with maybe 3 or 4, 5 different decks. So, um, if you guys are interested, please like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. I will start doing different decks to 12 wins, so you can kind of see some different decks that I'm using that I can get 12 wins with, and eventually I hope to Twitch live, so I can live show 12 wins and all that kind of stuff. Um, I know me personally, that's what I would be interested in watching. So I hope there's other people out there like that with me, like me. Uh, well, guys, I'm done rambling for night. So this is Tactics signing off. Thanks, guys.